All right. Good morning, everybody.
War.
War. What is it good for? A pump?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, nothing when they're posturing, but when they have at it, then
Yes, how much are we down? We're down about 10% in Bitcoin. Alts are down. What are alts down for the weekend? Ballpark 20%.
Pretty much.
And alts are just hovering around their old lows.
Can you share your screen or?
Yeah. So this is the altcoin market. Looked pretty fucking good last week.
Definitely. Friday looked fantastically well.
We had this nice hammer candle. We all thought
Yes.
this was the highest probability. And we also thought this was like a 20% probability. Okay, so the first thing that I want to point out is that when a low probability outcome happens, then you can expect the move to be a little bit bigger than you would otherwise expect. So this move is a little bit exaggerated by the fact that it caught us by surprise, but it's still a big move. And it's still a big move resulting straight up from the repricing of risk. So let's look at this is the stock market futures. And you can see here, it looked pretty good. Retraced its gains in one day, opened lower, opened at the highs, closed at near the lows, gapped down, filled the gap, and we're still going lower. The market thinks that risk is off here. And this little bit here is telling us that the market is more bearish than it was on Friday. You can see it right here. And this is pretty much continued selling pressure all the way through, right? Like this is straight shots down. So we're looking at whether or not this causes reflexive unwinding in other stuff. And what I mean is that, let's say you're holding a portfolio with some NASDAQ, some gold, some fucking copper, some bonds, some whatever. When one of these things goes down too much, you need to rebalance and sell off some other stuff to pay for it. Let's have a look at all the other stuff that they could be selling, which is mainly gold is about the same, and bonds. Is it August? So that would be 2024. Okay, bonds are still going up. Meaning interest rates down. TMX. Let's look at the interest rate. Yeah, so this interest rate is pricing in cuts. And those cuts are not well received by the market. Okay, I got it all straight in my head now. Maurizio, do you want to kick us off, or Ian, you want to kick us off?
Ian, go ahead, and then I have a little bit, but not much. It is interesting what happened over the weekend, but I have my views on it.
By the way, FINREF did really well.
Yeah, it did. It was sort of balanced on Friday, like sort of half. So either direction, it would have done absolutely well. Like if
this is my 90 vol account, and it was 85, 88, 89, 96, 95, 491. So we're up at 90 vol, up about a bit under 20%, so about 16% or so. And what are we holding? On Friday, we were holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and BNB long, and those are all cut. And now we're holding all these like terrible fucking shit coins short, ICP, APT. Let's just have a quick look at the portfolio. ICP is our biggest short, good, because that's a shit coin. And you can see that, there's good reasons why we're short that. APT, BLZ, all shit coins. Our biggest positions are all shorts by a mile. So we're 95% short, 99%, 98% short, something like that. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting, Maurizio.
No, not at all, man. Ian, yeah, are you okay or?
Yeah, I only have a short thing to look at. So I'm looking at the weekly chart here.
That's the chart, isn't it?
However we draw that line, whether we draw it on the daily or the weekly, it's a lower high. And the further that we go along in a range and we can't break that lower high, well, the increasing of the chance of that range actually breaking down. So whilst I remain super bullish overall, I do obviously have something in front of me that says this range is on looking more like it's going to break down than it's going to break out to the upside. Now, when we had this, we were down to sort of like, what, 58 or something like that. I mean, it hasn't gone any lower. It could have gone lower. So now it's all about, well, are we going to reclaim the bottom of that range? So if I had to put a percentage on it, well, I'm going to say that it's 70% that we're going to reclaim the bottom of that range, 30% that we shit the bed and keep on going down. And then from there, that's it. I can't come up with like, that's that first step. And that's kind of where I am. But I'm buying altcoins at the moment. I'm adding to my position. There's a lot of fear out there, and I've made a decision that I believe in my portfolio, and I'm adding to my position. It's easy for me to a degree because I'm like, these are my coins. I'm going to ride them through. The choice has been made. We've now got some bargain buying opportunities. And I mention that because it takes two to make a market. There's always somebody happy. There's always somebody unhappy. So anybody that's joining the market today is a new, like, wow, we can get these real bargain prices. Other people that are holding them are like, I'm down. But if you believe they're going to come back, then you believe they're going to come back. And that's really, with a bow on it, that's what I've got today for this current situation.
I think the chart that you've got there is really significant because you've got two real plays here. Well, you've got three plays. You can think that the market's going to continue to go down until it gives you some reason to reject that hypothesis, which is what FINRA is doing. That's play one. Play two is, I believe the market's going to go back up and we're in a bull market and this is going to look like a great buying opportunity in retrospect. Pretty reasonable thing to think. That's inherently riskier than waiting until, if it recaptures that line that you've drawn up there on the top, I think we can say that that's definitely happening. So, that goes from being, coin flip just less or around a coin flip, just slightly lower than 50% probably, to probably above 65% if we recapture that. So if you're a risk averse investor, you might not want to have any dog in this fight right now. If you're risk averse, you might want to say, hey, it's okay. The first little bit of the pullback is of the recovery is going to be very juicy for whoever gets it, but I'm out of that game. You might say, I want no part of that. I'm just gonna be 100% back in, and I'm gonna chill in stable coins until then. Where am I between those two extremes? I've got some garbage in my wallets, so I'm inherently exposed to crypto. I've got some ENA, I've got some Retardio, I've got some Sigma, I've got some like complete garbage in some of my wallets. So I'm getting hit a little bit harder on the meme coins than I would like. So I'm probably not buying any extra around here just because I'm already pretty committed. Nigabut is recovering today. Excuse my pronunciation of that horrible coin. There was someone who made a valid comment last week about can we not buy into this racist meta, and that's perfectly reasonable thing to think. Like, it's just a horrible trend. Yeah, so let's just call it N. But what do I think of Pigu and Zona? I've never heard of them, and yeah, like there's 1,000 of these new things every single day. Most of them are scams, and none of them are really any different than the others. What's the plan for Mitch? The plan for Mitch is wait until the market recovers, and there's a couple of influencers who are pimping that, and we're going to ride along their coattails. But meme coins pumping is an after effect of people winning at the casino table. So no one's looking at this dip going, you know what, that's a generational entry on Glor or Bobo or any of those things. No one's doing that. Everyone starts to look at memes when my Bitcoin's up, my Ethereum's up, my Solana's up, when I've made money off Pepe, when I've made money off this, when I've made money off that, then I can throw some winnings into meme coins. And then I'm kind of like throwing some chips around the table. No one wants to do that right now. So there's no upside in playing memes this week at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Got Mauricio.
All right. I thought you're done. All right. So yeah, interesting. Let me just show you a few things. So let me share my screen. Because I've been sort of researching a little bit in terms of when we have this sell-off, right? We want to sort of find out. Let me just so let's go into the levels first, into the weekly. So into the weekly, let's go from a weekly perspective, right? And this is the level 3. Yeah, definitely. We're still holding this level. So we had a worse price going on the 4th of July. The 4th of July was the biggest sort of liquidation event that we had. We are like we're still respected on that level still, but I'm looking for what's the reason of the sell-off, right? What happened over the sell-off? There is a lot of rumors that the sell-off was actually done by Jump Crypto. So the CEO, stuff like that. A lot of things are happening internally, so they are actually liquidating all their books. So I'm looking on, like, if you guys had any, I don't know how you guys play with Arkham. Like, that's why I like Arkham a lot. Like this, you know, the market intelligence stuff. And I've been tracking this morning or what happened over the weekend, and more than likely what they've done is they selling a lot of, they liquidated a bunch of stuff. Finally, yeah, they were forced to do that. So, but usually they do it over the weekend when it's low liquidity. So I'm just trying to find out what is the main cause of the sell-off, right? Because exactly what happened with the Mt. Gox and the German selling, but I'm trying to find out.
That doesn't kind of make any sense that you would liquidate a portfolio over the weekend if you had any choices about it. Like,
no idea. Yeah. It is
like they must have known they were going to cost themselves probably 5% in slippage.
I think it's more going on, you know what I mean? Especially with what's going on in terms of in the next couple of months. So yes, it is a rumor. So I'm just tracking to see where is the selling actually comes from. Most of it.
I mean, it doesn't make sense that a sophisticated actor would say, okay, I'm going to sell off on a weekend unless you have no choice. I think more likely that Jump is holding substantial positions in the real markets, and the only thing that's open on the weekend to hedge them with is crypto, and they sell down their crypto to reduce the risk. I think that could be real.
That could be it. Yep, that could be it. And it's many reasons why, right? Like you can just balance books, like you said, or so there's many reasons.
So what I mean is that statistically, the tech index, the Nasdaq, moves with Bitcoin. So if you're holding long long Apple, long tech stocks or some shit, and you want to hedge off that war risk over the weekend, the only thing that's open for you to do it is to short Bitcoin.
Yep.
Marlin, Jump Trading has way more than 572 million assets, way more. It's it's an extremely big player in crypto.
So yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of tracking to exactly see this is now Bitcoin on the daily, and yeah, on Friday, this was on Friday, right, on the daily, and I was like looking at these levels that look fantastically well, and over the weekend they just sort of broke everything down, man. Like it is
Once they broke
interesting.
the first level, it was like
Yeah.
something completely weird is happening. Jonathan, I'm really surprised by how well Retardio held up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna show you a few memes, because memes are very resilient. Like I'm just tracking what's holding, right?
Yeah, it's actually
memes,
holding better than I thought it
yep.
would.
So I'm sort of, we're talking about memes and stuff. Let me show you now. So this is all the memes that I was tracking. The new memes. There's a bunch of new memes coming up, and including some stuff on the Solana blockchain. So obviously this is Bitcoin right here, and everything is just hammered. However, these four, like Nero Soul, actually over the weekend recovered pretty well. Michi Soul, this is all the news meme stuff on.
Okay, so Nero is a scam.
Yeah.
If you're trading that, wash your brain out with soap. You're being used as exit liquidity. All the influencers own 50% of the supply on the ETH one. They'll dump it.
Okay.
They'll dump it together. You don't want anything to do with it. Mitch, I know we've been playing it, but we are the people that I know in my little meme circle own so much of the supply there that it's just because my guys aren't selling that it's not dropping. That's the only reason. So it's not a scam, but it's not a real coin. Like the people who are planning on pumping that are holding it by saying in a group chat that I'm in, hey bros, I hodl if you hodl, all right, bro? And and that's what it is. It's like 4 or 5 guys saying, okay, we control 30% of the supply between us. Like, let's not fucking sell it. Okay. And then it doesn't go down because we're not fucking selling it.
Yeah, this is
because there's only 4 or 5 of us, like if anyone fucking goes against that, then it'll be patently obvious. And then it'll be obvious, and then they'll be chucked out of the group chat, and then they won't be able to participate anymore, and that'll cost them money. So that's kind of what's going on there. It's that, Marlon, what I'm saying is, it's in their interest not to wreck the Mitch market. So don't pay too much to Mitch. Let's look at some real ones, some Popcats.
Yeah, I have these ones here. Like the ones that are holding the most, Mock, which we are already in, and it's holding pretty well on those levels. Popcat and Mumu. This is sort of the ones that actually been tracking for, especially Popcat and Mumu. Because we already are in Mock, but Mumu and Popcat, especially with Solana. Solana is holding well out of the drop. Solana actually, it is holding pretty well. Let me just show you Solana. So
yeah, it's okay. And what I like is that the big drop on Friday, the drop on Saturday was smaller, and the drop Sunday, sorry, the drop Thursday was big, Friday was smaller, and Saturday was smaller again. And here we are we're kind of stabilizing. So this is looking a little bit better. By the way, our ENA leverage trade got wiped out.
Yeah, it got stopped out on that one. So, man, it looked good. It looked good.
It looked really
Certainly
good, and I made a
yeah.
mistake. I realized I added to it. I forgot to put a stop on the position that I added to, so I only got stopped at 3/4 of it.
Right. Yeah, so we got to stop on that one.
The Tokyo stock market isn't opening apparently. Half the stuff is set to open down 10%. Let me just look at Nikkei. Oh shit. Yeah, the Jap stock market is down, down, down. Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bearish. I think it has a small bearish like this week, very bearish sentiment in a way. However, I've been tracking a lot of what Bitcoin is going to do, especially Ethereum. Ethereum is pretty down. Like it broke the level of the 3,000, which is so if we look at Ethereum from the daily, it look that now next level, it could actually reach to 2,500 sort of deal. And that's going to be a really, really important level to watch for, I think, because right now Ethereum is not holding. This is basically what I think alts will follow, and especially if Ethereum keeps continue going down, I think we might gonna have to de-risk on the portfolio. But I'm holding off right now in a way. But I'm still bullish, especially with a lot of stuff happening now in September. But it's going to be a lot of volatility around like the elections and all the stuff, that all the economic factors that are going to be in September. Now we're closing another Q.
So I think a lot depends. Is the war is the war uncertainty resolved, or is it still there? Did the war start? I mean, that's the real question.
Exactly. Because if that happens, I think it's going to be another sell.
No, if that happens, typically it's the other way. The extra volatility is about the risk of war. When it's clear what's actually happening, there's no risk anymore. So the uncertainty is resolved.
Got it. So yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of this one's of tracking pretty much sell-offs and see what is holding. In terms of our portfolio, I still like most of our positions, but we might have to de-risk on some if we have some continuation on this.
So when you decide to de-risk, what we're going for here is not trying to maximize money. We're trying to trade well, and those are two different things. So if you de-risk when you need to de-risk, that's when you should de-risk. You shouldn't de-risk late. You shouldn't de-risk early. You should de-risk when you need to de-risk, because you can always re-risk.
Exactly. You can always go back to the same position that you were before, right? In a way. So
and you don't have to make it back the way that you lost it.
Exactly. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So be tracking closely what's going to happen over the week, and we might start cutting some positions over, and then wait to see what the market does. Especially if it does a lot of, like, after the sell-offs, there is either a lot of volatility or none at all. If it's not at all, hopefully the market settles, and then hopefully we can, either start buying more or start be holding off pretty much on buying at this stage. I might be doing some smaller time frame trading, because that might be a little bit, like very, very small time frame stuff. Few plays here and there, especially on levels. I think that will be interesting. But besides that, I think that's my plan.
Okay. Is there anything you like in the majors? Everything is down. What do you really like?
So I still like Solana. So interesting enough, this is the majors, right? This is pretty much everything doing the same thing. However, Ton is being the one that is holding, like Ton is actually, we are on Ton. I think I like to add more on it. And Solana as well. So I think those majors will be very interesting for me. So I really like Ton and Solana for the majors. BNB though, let me just show you the BNB because it looks interesting. So BNB holding off on these levels as well. So in terms of,
I would still want to see some upside action before I would be more comfortable with anyone getting in on any of these after we see a decent update.
me too.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to try and catch a falling knife here.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So that's why I'm more in the like I'm keeping an eye on the majors like Solana, Ethereum still, Bitcoin, but yeah, we're going to have a high chance, like a high probability that we might have to de-risk, and then wait for the settle, like wait for everything to settle down a little bit, especially after this big sell-off over the weekend, and let's see how everything holds this week.
So gold is down 1% off highs. Berkshire is down 5% off highs. S&P 500 6% off highs. Russell 11%. Nasdaq 13%. A risk parity index is down 17. Copper 20. Bitcoin 21. Uranium 36. Bonds 39. Silver 42. Oil 44. Arc Innovation got scammed things 74% off highs.
Wow.
But she's the world's worst stock picker, so that's unsurprising. Yeah, look, I think that everyone should be standing aside from now. I wouldn't be. I think you'll look back and go, if you get this right, like this is probably the best buying opportunity. But we still probably, given that most of us are long crypto to some degree, like FinRev is short for me, but I've got long bags as well. So net, I'm a little bit long. Do I have any business getting even more long here? No, I probably shouldn't. I probably should be glad that I've got some short exposure and some long exposure, and I should probably call it a day. This is a good week to have your hands off the steering wheel, in my view. What would I put money into this week? I would, Dave, I would put money into Solana. I think anything that you put money to right now that if the bull market is still on, it's going to be an amazing entry. And
I agree.
And that's anything that's a good alt, the Nears, the Pendles, anything that's good. But if you're already long, you probably don't want to go extra.
So ergo then leverage season, are we officially turning that off? We officially turned it on a couple of weeks ago.
That's an interesting one. I wouldn't.
Let's not turn it off, but we should be out of that ENA trade. Let's make that very clear.
Yeah, because I think this is the time where you should start thinking about good setups in terms of leverage, and that's why I call in some leverage trades on Friday. Right? Obviously, not all the time you're going to be right. That's why your position management has to be so important, right? In terms of risk. So because you cannot actually be 100% right all the time, but I think this is the time when we should start looking into some leverage stuff, especially short term. Like, I don't know, for the guys that actually came to the course of when doing the leverage course, I think smaller time frame stuff could be really valuable in this volatile market, and that could be a really good thing to do, right? But then obviously, yeah, I think I agree with you, Scott. I wouldn't be turning it off completely, but just cautious, right? Very cautious.
Yeah, and Japan is shitting the bed right now. They're not even opening up that fucking. Are they opening the Nikkei?
mean, the Japanese economy has been in a woeful state for, a long time.
It's coming good. It's coming good because they were first into recession, so they'll be first. They'll be first out. But that bullshit they pulled in their bond market has not. Yeah.
What about
So
don't ever try and guess macroeconomics? So I'm
no.
not
If we've got to settle on the games that we can actually win at. So it's the concept we call trying to beat Djokovic at tennis. So if you're going to read the news and come up with some complicated theory about the dollar's going to do this, and then it's going to do that, and then the Chinese are going to cut rates, and then this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and this is going to happen, and if you're doing that stuff, you're playing tennis against Djokovic, and there's maybe 20 guys in the world who are good enough to trade that way, and you're not one of them, and neither am I. And if you're trying to do that with some sort of Elliott wave prediction cycle timing bullshit, which doesn't work anyway, then it's like you're playing Djokovic at tennis, but you bought a dildo instead of a racket and you're retarded. You just shouldn't be doing that stuff, because everyone I've ever seen who tries to trade that way fucks it up. It's like an ongoing joke. All the people who talk about trading that way aren't real traders. They're just bullshitters. Like you blow up your money so quickly when you start doing that stuff. You've got to have an edge, and our edge is, do we know something that the market's not pricing incorrectly? Arguably, we've had forced and constrained selling and people are fearful, so the prices are pushed far from equilibrium. If the bull market is on, this is a great buying point because we're buying things cheaper. If the bull market is off, well, it could get a lot worse. So do we want to play that game? Personally, I wouldn't really play that game. Not this week.
I agree.
Yeah, I honestly, guys, this is a week to take the week and take your bat and ball and go home and not play it.
Absolutely. Hey Phil, is it the FinRev account that you want to upgrade? I can certainly get somebody to reach out to you. If I've got yeah, cool, man. What I'll do is I'll look for your email address, Phil, and then I'll have somebody contact you. I'll do it immediately after this call. Yeah, so on the subject of FinRev, so something I just want to spell out before I make my actual statement, right? My FinRev goes up, and then it goes into a pullback and it gives a little bit of that money back. And then I've got more money than I started with. And then it goes up a little bit more. And then it comes back down and I've got a little bit more money than I started
So
with.
FinRev is making money, but it'll give back, if the market rallies strongly, it'll give back most of that, if not all of that.
If not all of that, yeah. So the point that I'm trying to make is that there is a view that if you say got 10,000 and let's just say you go up to 5,000 and then you give a little bit back, that people will say, I'm down, I'm losing. Whereas the way I look at FinRev is anything above the initial amount that I put in is profit. So I'm not bothered how high it goes up to how far it comes back. I just wanted to make that clear before I say all three of my FinRev accounts are making money. And I couldn't be happier that during this period of total uncertainty where...
While everyone's in the getting fucked business, at least we're not in the getting fucked business.
Exactly. And that is the reason that I can look at my coins and my stuff in the 100x with a more relaxed view that FinRev is taking care of the real business for me. I've just got my hands on my balls in FinRev, giving it the big bullish one, and I'm game for it. And that's just a great situation for everybody to be in who's with us in FinRev. Yeah, Brad, it does seem obvious, Brad. It does seem obvious that anything other than the initial amount that you put in is profit. But people do see it as, well, I was at 16 and now I'm only at 12. I'm losing. It's like, you're not, you're winning. And you're not getting wrecked. That's the other thing. You're not getting wrecked in FinRev. Like everybody's looking at their coins today thinking, shit the bed. Looking at FinRev thinking, nice. It's going to be a nice week.
13-cent woo, that's a hate crime.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
horrible, man. Yeah, it's one of those things that it could be a really, really great opportunity here.
Could be an incredible opportunity. I mean, woo
Definitely.
is a dollar coin all day, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things, right? Like that's where I'm at today, because obviously everything happened over the weekend, and you have to just start figuring out how you're gonna play it, right? So I'm in between. I'm in between two. I'm in between like, dude, there's some really good stuff out there at a good price. Should we grab some, or should we hold off? That's where I'm at the moment, like 50-50. That's where I'm at.
I still really like Rotario, by the way. I'm really impressed with how it's held up. Kiri,
She can. I'll get somebody to reach out to you.
all right, guys. I think that's about everything we got to cover. Like short call today.
Definitely. I'll be doing so much more stuff over the week, because we might, let's see, especially like today, Monday and Tuesday, where markets open and all sort of stuff. Let's see how the reaction happens, and then we'll start making some decisions, you know what I mean, during the week, and if to hold off or either de-risk a little bit, or yeah. But I wouldn't be jumping in right now, start making decisions right now. I'll see how the market goes, and that's my take. What you reckon, Scott?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Yep. All right, guys.
Right.
It's off the steering wheel as much as you can. Depressio, it's some derivative of another coin. Long run, that's good for Rotario, like more eyeballs on it. But there's very few cases where the copy of the coin outperforms the original coin. Like it's almost unheard of. So yeah. So don't yeah. Don't rush into things like that. All right, guys. Yeah, Greg, I think Solon at 130 is such a solid buy. I think it's really good.
Think so. Yeah, think so.
That's what I'd be looking at. If I had to, if gun to my cock, I have to buy something today. I'm buying Solid at $1.
Nice. Okay, we're really looking forward to the leverage boot camp this week, especially with these market conditions. So let's have a great week. Let's take the advice. Let's look for the market updates that Maurizio and Scott are posting all the time, and the emails. There's so much gold in the emails. So thanks, everyone.
See you, brother.
See you guys.